my gosh, I've missed you so much. And I've been thinking a lot about you and wondering what books you've been reading or what books people have been reading to you. And if you've been checking out books from the library or if you've been wishing for books for Christmas because it is Christmas time. It's a few days before Christmas and you can see I'm all decorated. I'm drinking my hot cocoa. And well, I decided I wanted to be back with you and I wanted to read to you one of my favorite all-time Christmas stories. All right, so you ready? I always keep this with my Christmas decorations, and when I unpacked it this year, I thought this is gotta be a story I read to my friends. How the Grinch Stole Christmas. You know this story? Oh, please don't tell me you've seen the movie. Because like most movies that were books first, the books are always better. Yeah. And this story has been a book for a long time. When I was a little girl, I read this book. And before I could read, somebody read this book to me. In fact, this very same book has been in my family for a long, long time. So, if you look on the inside, in fact, it says that it was given to my big sister in 1968, over 50 years ago. My big sister's name is Tracy. Do you have a big sister or a big brother? Or are you a big sister or a big brother? All right, well, why don't you get ready and I will read this book to you, okay? Let's get settled. I'm going to keep my hot chocolate over here and get my spectacles on. Maybe you want to get a blanket and get all cozy and get ready to be a good listener. All right, you ready? Let's begin. How the Grinch Stole Christmas by Dr. Seuss. Oh, and I just love all these pictures of the Who's with their wreaths. Do you have Christmas wreaths at your house? How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Oh, and here's that wonderful tree they have, long and skinny, with branches sticking way out here and little decorations and lights on and everything all set up. And at the very top, there's a kind of a flower star. And, oh, wait a minute. Who is that? That's not Santa. Could that be the Grinch? He's gonna try to steal Christmas from these cute little Who people. See that guy? That's a little Who. All right, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Okay, ready? Here we go. Every Who down in Whoville liked Christmas a lot. But the Grinch, who lived just north of Whoville, did not. In fact, the Grinch hated Christmas the whole Christmas season. No, please don't ask why. No one quite knows the reason. It could be, perhaps, that his head wasn't screwed on just right. Or it could be, perhaps, that his shoes were too tight. But I think that the most likely reason of all may have been that his heart was 2 sizes too small. But whatever the reason, his heart or his shoes, he stood there on Christmas Eve hating the Who's. He stood there on Christmas Eve hating the Who's and staring down from his cave with a sour, grinchy frown at the warm, lighted windows below in their town. For he knew every Who down in Whoville beneath was busy now hanging a mistletoe wreath. And they're hanging their stockings, he snarled with a sneer. "Tomorrow is Christmas? It's practically here." Then he growled with his Grinch fingers nervously drumming. "I must find some way to stop Christmas from coming." For tomorrow, he knew, there he is, he's staring off at me. He does not look like a very nice guy, doesn't he? I think his heart probably is 2 sizes too small. And that poor little town, getting ready for Christmas, has no idea what's about to happen. He knew that all the Who girls and boys would wake bright and early. They'd rush for their toys. Oh, and then, the noise, 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 noise. That's the one thing he hated. The noise, 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 noise. And here it says, "Merry, Merry." And all these Who girls and boys are looking forward to getting up at Christmas morning and doing exactly this with their new presents. It does look pretty loud, doesn't it? Well, he wants to stop that from happening, that old Grinchy Grinch. Then, after they opened the presents, the Who's, young and old, would sit down to a feast, and they'd feast, and they'd feast, and they'd feast, 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 feast. They would feast on Who pudding and rare Who roast beast, which was something the Grinch couldn't stand in the least. And there's all the food coming out of the kitchen, and it's going over to these tables where everybody's waiting, even the babies in the high chair, and all the moms and dads, and all the kids, and they're all hungry, and they're all ready at this long table to have some good Christmas dinner. And then, after that feast, they do something he liked least of all. Every Who down in Whoville, the tall and the small, would stand close together with Christmas bells ringing. They'd stand hand in hand, and the Who's would start singing. Singing. And they'd sing. And they'd sing, and they'd sing, 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 and the whole more that the Grinch thought of this Who Christmas thing, the more the Grinch thought, "I must stop this whole thing. Why, for 53 years I have put up with it now. I must stop this Christmas from coming." But how? Yes, then the Grinch got an idea, an awful idea. The Grinch got a wonderful, awful idea. And he looks pretty happy with himself, doesn't he? Oh, I know just what I'll do, the Grinch laughed in his throat, and he made a quick Santa Claus hat and a coat. And he chuckled and he clucked. "What a great Grinchy trick! With this coat and this hat, I look just like Saint Nick," which is another name for Santa Claus. Do you think he looks like Santa Claus? Not a beard. That kind of does. "All I need is a reindeer." And the Grinch looked around. But since reindeer are scarce, there was none to be found. Did that stop the old Grinch? No. The Grinch simply said, "If I can't find a reindeer, I'll make one instead." So he called his dog Max. "Here, Maxie." And he took some red thread and he tied a big horn on the top of his head. Oh, poor Max. "Here, Maxie, Maxie, doggy dog, come here and be a reindeer." "Oh, okay." Poor Max. Then he loaded some bags and some old empty sacks on a ramshackle sleigh, and he hitched up old Max. There he is. Hitched up means hooked to the sleigh so that he has to pull it. There he is, hitched up to the sleigh. Then the Grinch said, "Giddy up." And the sleigh started down towards the homes where the Who's lay a snooze in the town. Oops. Hold it up like that. There we go. There's the town. They're sleeping. That's what a snooze means. They're sleeping in this town. All their windows were dark. Quiet snow filled the air, and the Who's were all dreaming sweet dreams without care. When he came to the first little house on the square, "Oh, this is stop number 1, the old Grinchy Claus hissed, and he climbed to the roof, empty bags in his fist. There he is, just like Santa Claus does down the chimney, only it's not Santa Claus, it's the Grinch. And there's Max waiting down below there. He doesn't look very happy. "Oh dear, oh no, we shouldn't do this, you know." "Quiet, Max." Okay. Look at where he landed. He came out of the chimney, and there's the Christmas tree and the Christmas socks and all the decorations, and the Who's sleeping, waiting for Christmas morning. Then he slid down the chimney. A rather tight pinch, but if Santa could do it, then so could the Grinch. He got stuck only once for a moment or two. Then he stuck his head out of the fireplace, flew where the little Who's stockings all hung in a row. "These stockings," he grinned, "are the first things to go." There he is, taking them down, putting them in his sack so he can steal them and take them away. Then he slithered and slunk with a smile most unpleasant around the whole room, and he took every present. Pop guns and bicycles, roller skates, drums, checkerboards, tricycles, popcorn, and plums, and he stuffed them in bags. Then the Grinch, very nimbly, stuffed all the bags one by one up the chimney. Look at that. Those Who's don't even know what's happening, and he's taking everything and putting it into their bags. All the Christmas decorations, see the stockings are gone. Oh, it's all going back in the bag. And then he goes into the kitchen, into the refrigerator, and guess what he's going to take there? Then he slunk to the icebox. He took the Who feast. He took the Who pudding. He took the roast beast. He cleaned out that icebox as quick as a flash. Why, that Grinch even took their last can of Who hash. And I guess Who hash doesn't taste very good, but he even took that. Oh, maybe he forgot that one. He got almost everything, didn't he? He left the star and a few lights or decorations on the tree, and there it all goes, up the chimney, taking it away. Then he stuffed all the food up the chimney with glee. "And now," grinned the Grinch, "I will stuff up the tree." He's going to take that tree even. Yep, there he is. See, he's doing that. Uh-oh, who's that, though? And the Grinch grabbed the tree, and he started to shove, when he heard a small sound like the coo of a dove. He turned around fast, and he saw a small Who, little Cindy Lou who was no more than 2. The Grinch had been caught by this tiny Who daughter who got up out of bed for a cup of cold water. She stared at the Grinch and she said, Santa Claus, why? Why are you taking our Christmas tree? Why? But you know, that old Grinch was so smart and so slick that he thought up a lie. There he is. He's thinking up a lie, and he's going to tell her something that isn't true. And this is what he says. Oh, why, my sweet little tot, the fake Santa Claus lied. There's a light on this tree that won't light on one side. Yeah, so I'm taking it home to my workshop, my dear. I'll fix it up there, then I'll bring it back here. Is that what he's going to do? He lied. Terrible, terrible. And this fib fooled the child. A fib is another word for a lie. This fib fooled the child, then he patted her head, and he gave her a drink, and he sent her to bed. Nighty-night, go to bed, sweet dreams, night-night. Night, Santa Claus. Only it's not Santa Claus. And then when Cindy Lou Who went to bed with her cup, the Grinch went to the chimney and he stuffed the tree up. Oh, look, he did get that wreath. He got everything. He didn't leave anything. The house is empty. And look, he's even taking, what is that? Then the last thing he took was the log for their fire. Then he went up the chimney himself, the old liar. On their walls, he left nothing but some hooks and some wires. And the one speck of food that he left in the house was a crumb that was even too small for a mouse. Tiny, tiny little mouse and a tinier little crumb. And they still don't know when they wake up, their house will be empty. Then he did the same thing to the other Who houses, leaving crumbs much too small for other Who mouses. Goodbye, mouse, I'll take the log. Wait. Oh, is he going to come back for that shovel? I don't know. He's sure taking everything else. Oh, look at that. It's all in his bag now. All the Christmas trees even. One big, giant bag of things and other bags hanging off the bag, see? And he's got everything, the wreaths even, the trees, and there he is, driving poor Max. It was 1/4 dawn, all the Who's still in bed, all the Who's still a snooze, when he packed up his sled. He packed up with their presents, their ribbons, their wrappings, the tags and the tinsels, the trimmings and trappings. That means all the decorations too, not just the presents, right? And the food. Then 1,000 feet up the side of Mount Crumpet, he rode with his load to the tip-top to dump it. Pooh-pooh to the Who's, he was grinchiously humming. They're finding out now that no Christmas is coming. They're just waking up. I know just what they'll do. Oh, their mouths will hang open for a minute or two. Then the Who's down in Whoville will all cry, boo-hoo. Oh, he's just not a very nice guy. That's a noise, the Grinch grinned, that I simply must hear. So he paused, and the Grinch put his hand to his ear, and he did hear a sound. It was rising over the snow. It started in low, then it started to grow. It's getting louder and louder, that sound he can hear. And look, even Max is listening too. It's coming from over the snow. But the sound wasn't sad. Why, this sound sounded merry. It couldn't be so. But it was merry. Very. What? They should be crying. What? Oh, what's the sound we hear? Oh, look, it's some music. He stared down at the Whoville. The Grinch popped his eyes. Then he shook. What he saw was a shocking surprise. It's not going the way he thought it would go. Instead, look what they're doing. Are they crying? No. Are they sad? No. Are they moping around and complaining? Where are our presents? Where is our food? No. It's still Christmas. Every Who down in Whoville, the tall and the small, were singing without any presents at all. He hadn't stopped Christmas from coming. It came. Somehow or another, it came just the same. Christmas without presents? Whoa, what, says the Grinch? He's having to think about this. What? Oh, he looks like he just kind of wants to go home now. And the Grinch, with his Grinch feet ice cold in the snow, stood puzzling and puzzling. How could it be so? It came without ribbons. It came without tags. It came without packages, boxes, or bags. And he puzzled 3 hours till his puzzler was sore. Then the Grinch thought of something he hadn't before. Maybe Christmas, he thought, doesn't come from a store. Maybe Christmas, perhaps, means a little bit more. Yeah. Maybe it's not about the presents. Maybe it's about being with your friends and your family and singing songs and just being happy because it's a happy time and you don't need presents for that. And what happened then? Oh, well, in Whoville they say that the Grinch's small heart grew 2 sizes that day. And the minute his heart didn't feel quite so tight, he whizzed with his load through the bright morning light, and he brought back the toys, and he brought back the feast. Dun, da, da, da. Here it comes, I'm bringing it back. And he's tooting through a horn, and look at Max. He's giving the sleigh a big push, but he's not pulling it anymore, is he? And he looks quite a bit happier. Look at that. He's got a smile on his puppy dog face because he's happy. He himself, the Grinch, carved the roast beast. And there he is. It's Christmas time. He has all the food back and the friends and family are sitting around and he is going to enjoy being with them. And the last page shows the wreaths and the who's. The end. Friends, that is one of my favorite Christmas stories because it's not about the presents. The presents are fun, but we have a lot of other reasons to be happy. And I think the Grinch learned that. And you know what makes me happy? Being back here reading stories to you. All right, friends. I hope to read more stories to you. And until then, happy reading.